Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. It is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And we are on Nessus because of course it is Friday, it is Xur Day, and we are going to go see if he's got anything good for sale. Also, we did just get done recording the Last Word, our podcast, and we actually had Paul Tassi from Forbes. He's an awesome writer, and he does typically almost a daily Destiny article. If you follow him on Twitter, you would know, but it's at PAULTASSI. Had him on there as a guest, so definitely if you haven't seen him before, check out the podcast. It was a good one, but let's see what Tentacle has to offer us today. Alright, well, one thing that I've been using for a minute, but we've got some exotics to discuss. Of course, your exotic engram, you guys know this is working on the checklist. If you have everything, it is working on that random piece of armor, so you can hopefully get some good stat rolls, as opposed to the collection level stat rolls down here, everything in the mid, upper 40s and low 50s. Never good stat rolls here. This is your chance at a good stat roll. For the gear, we've got the tractor cannon for your weapon this week. It has been a minute since I've seen this one here, at least at Xur, but it is a fun one to use, and if you're grinding out Python, actually a shotgun, at least in one of your two slots, and then this one as well, is going to serve you well, because if you go kind of the way my build is at this point, this is what I was working on. I just finished Python. I was running Perfect Paradox, I think, for one of them. I had something with a little bit more range in this slot, and I had Tractor Cannon, but I turned this thing to a shotgun build. I had Pump Action, Shotgun Scavenger, Shotgun Reserves, Shotgun Loader, Shotgun Ammo Finder. If I was going through Python for in-Gambit setup like this, I was getting a pretty good amount of heavy ammo, and Tractor Cannon is pretty good for multiple reasons. So, let's look at this perk. So you've got Repulsor Force. This weapon emits a powerful impulse that pushes enemies away, which is actually really fun to do to people who invade in Gambit, by the way. It's a nice thing to hide and then push people off a ledge. Can't do much about it. It's really fun to watch. And also makes them more vulnerable to all incoming damage. So it's actually going to make them weaker. And this does also include bosses that you can damage for your teammates if they're pumping out damage and you're running shotgun. You can at least go run up to the boss, weaken them, so those who are standing on that little buff circle are going to be able to get a little extra damage on the boss. You do have extended barrel, particle repeater, but you've also got the scientific method. Damaging an opponent temporarily increases speed and handling. So lots of good things here by using this weapon. Kind of a fun one to use. If you've never used it, make sure you for sure buy this weapon, because for one, it's a lot of fun, and two, it's actually got some decent functions. Not quite as crazy OP when debuffs were stacking in raids as they used to, but still a fun gun to use. Definitely one to consider if you're going for that Python to put in that energy for that heavy slot, so you can grind out some shotgun kills in Gambit. For the Hunter, we've got the Dragon's Shadow. Always a very cool one. Definitely got a little bit more almost samurai armor to it. The dragon looks actually pretty legit. And your perk here is going to be Wraith Mail Metal. Dodging reloads all weapons and increases both movement and weapon handling speeds for a brief period of time. So when you dodge, you reload, you move faster, and your weapon handling is ultra quick. So if you do get a dodge in and then you've got to be a little more wily on the fly or anything like that, it is a way to be nice and spry. Now, this is probably not going to do you a ton of good in PvE, because you're not going to be probably so much in the mix you need to dodge and be all nimble. But in PvP, this is definitely one that you can get some uses out of. It's probably not going to top the meta per se, but it is definitely going to be one if you like your dodging, reloading, getting that done for you, so you can actually have your other dodge besides your reload, and then weapon and movement speed being faster. You can definitely be a lot more squirrely around the map and hard to track down. This is running with a Void affinity, so your perks are going to be related to grenade launchers, hand cannons, scouts, sidearms, and snipers. Very popular one for PvP with snipers, hand cannons, and grenade launchers. Those are pretty popular ones that everybody tends to use. For the Warlocks, we've got Starfire Protocol. The old blue and shiny robe here, very cool looking. Your perk here is Fusion Grenades have an additional charge and recharge from empowered weapon damage. Fusion Grenade kills grant Rift Energy. So, let me explain the cycle. You are a Warlock, you drop your Empowering Rift. You have 2 charges, so you can actually be charging it more. You're standing in that rift, and you do damage. That's going to help charge your grenade. If you throw a grenade out there, you get Rift Energy back from that kill as well. So it's a nice double cycle. If you really enjoy Fusion Grenades, you're running Solar, and you have Empowering Rifts for that weapon damage, you're going to be getting a nice double bonus here. So if you do enjoy your Solar subclass, Fusion Grenades, and Empowering Rifts, this literally has your name written all over it. Another Void affinity here. Chest armor, you're going to have those grenades, hand cannons, scouts, sidearms, and snipers. I can't talk. Again, reserves and also unflinching ammo perks here in the chest category. Final exotic is going to be the Wormgod Caress for the Titans. This one has been off and on between being broken. Looks pretty cool, actually. Perk here is going to be Burning Fist. Melee kills increase melee damage for a short period of time. Additional kills extend the duration and increase the effects. So what people were doing, and this is still something you can do actually if you're wearing this specifically with, say, take the Titan Throwing Hammer, for example, in the Middle Tree Solar class. If you throw the hammer and get a kill, well, you're going to be getting a regeneration of that melee ability, and also you're going to be getting that increased damage to last longer. And if you're throwing the hammer, you just run over, pick it up, and you can throw it again. So you can do this over and over and over, and especially if you've got, like, you know, a couple low-level enemies and you've got a medium-level enemy, kill the low-level ones, chug that hammer at the third one, and it's going to die pretty quick. Now, people had this setup where they were breaking things with this and switching over to other perks and getting a ridiculous amount of damage. I think that is fixed, but it's still a decently fun one to use, especially if you're a throwing hammer kind of guy. This may be the exotic for you. We are running with a solar affinity on this one, which is going to be coming up for a change soon, which is good. You've got an empty mod socket here that is going to be working with auto rifles, fusion rifles, linear fusions, rockets, and also submachine guns. That pretty much wraps up Xur for today, guys. If you didn't catch the podcast live, I will get the audio and video up later, so stay tuned. It is the last word with Ebontis and Lord Cognito. Special guest was Paul Tassi, an awesome writer for Forbes, covering video games constantly, about a daily Destiny article for him. Thank you all for the support lately as well. We just passed 46,000 and still climbing, so we are inching closer to 50K. You guys are amazing. You guys can find me on Twitch and Twitter, and right here on YouTube you can follow, like, subscribe, and all of those good things. And if you do want to support me directly, I've got a Patreon as well. You guys can find that link below in the description, and that is your way to support me any direct which way you can. But thank you all for the support every way you do it, be it a like, a comment, or just following the channel. You guys are all awesome, so thank you very much. I will see you soon. Happy Valentine's, and enjoy your weekend.